How do you turn a Chinese yam as big as a mace into the perfect drinking snack? Sachiko visited her new neighbors yesterday, bringing homemade pickled vegetables as a gift. The lady enthusiastically gave her a freshly dug Chinese yam in return. This yam was huge, giving Sachiko a real headache. She kept thinking about how to cook it to pair with drinks. Sachiko went to the public bathhouse to relax. While soaking, she brainstormed cooking methods. She considered deep frying yam chunks, but that would splatter oil everywhere. She thought about pan frying yam cakes, but they'd burn easily. She even considered cream-baked yam, but worried about getting an upset stomach. Finally, she decided to make yam okonomiyaki. At the supermarket, Kosher was promoting Kansai-style okonomiyaki. The store manager recommended Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki. The two argued about which was more authentic. Sachiko bought ingredients from both vendors. This way, the manager and Kosher ended up in a draw. Back home, Sachiko arranged the ingredients on her prep counter. First, she cut the cabbage into large pieces. Then she cut the scallions into big chunks. She put them in separate bowls for later use. She peeled the massive yam, then grated it into paste on a special plate. This was an enormous amount of work. Sachiko took several breaks in the middle. She finally produced a whole big bowl of sticky yam paste. She poured the yam paste into both the cabbage pieces and scallion chunks. She added some flour and dashi powder. She sprinkled in tempura batter mix and pickled ginger. Then she cracked an egg into each. Both mixtures needed to be stirred evenly, since the yam was quite sticky. Stirring was pretty exhausting. Sachiko started sweating in no time. She cut the remaining yam into thin strips and put them in a bowl. She cracked another egg, then drizzled some yuzu vinegar over it. Sachiko brought out her teppanyaki griddle. She'd won this playing cards over New Year's. It had been sitting around forever, finally getting its moment today. She also prepared some squid legs in conch meat. Finally, she took out ice-cold beer in beer glasses. Sachiko tried the yam strips first. She used chopsticks to break the egg yolk, and mixed the yam strips evenly. Then she ate it all in one bite. Next, she took a gulp of beer. Next came the teppanyaki squid. The squid sizzled on the griddle. She added a pat of butter and sprinkled some salt for seasoning. The timing had to be just right. Cook it too long and it'd be like chewing rubber. Sachiko's two spatulas flew up and down. She quickly finished cooking the seafood. The fresh off the griddle squid was crispy and tender. The conch meat had a nice texture too. Next, she plated the seafood and started making the pancakes. The two big masses of cabbage batter and scallion batter slowly took shape on the griddle. Oil bubbled and sizzled enticingly. After a while, she flipped them and drizzled on sauce. After cooking a bit more, they were ready to come off. She used the spatula to cut the okonomiyaki into 4 pieces. She sprinkled on some bonito flakes and seaweed. Sachiko couldn't wait to take a bite. Soft and smooth, with the cabbage providing a satisfying chew. Sachiko was delighted and finished her second beer too. If the cabbage okonomiyaki went for a gooey texture, then the scallion version was crispy outside, tender inside. Sachiko wanted a taste but realized she was out of beer again. Sachiko remembered the cocktail she'd mixed last time, so she made herself a whiskey and soda water. The scallion pancake needed a dip of chili oil. It had a bit more chew than the cabbage pancake. After swallowing, she followed it with a sip of the ice-cold